Yes, so we are live, streaming live now.
I think we still have 1 minute.
Yes, maybe less than a minute to start.
Less than a minute. Okay. This is the time jab sannata hota hai.
Yeah.
Everybody is very quiet, waiting for 3 o'clock.
so we have like kind of striked 3 o'clock, and a very good afternoon to all the viewers, and a very good afternoon to the panelists. Thank you for accepting our invitation. So this is the third part of our series Unsung Heroes, and today also we have three optometrists who are working in remote areas of India and providing their services. So without much delay, I will introduce the panel one by one. We have optometrist Chetan. He is a practitioner since 21 years with optical dispensing, practicing at the most thinly populated hilly region of Karnataka, Madikere in Coorg district, where it rains 4 to 6 months a year. A Rotarian since 15 years and actively serving community through the profession of optometry. Mr. Chetan has completed his diploma in ophthalmic techniques from Lions Eye Hospital. Then he upgraded himself to Bachelor of Optometry and also Masters in Clinical Optometry from Sankara College of Optometry. Welcome, Chetan.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jayant. Jayant resides in Muzaffarpur. It is the fourth most populous city in Bihar, if I'm correct. He did his schooling from Nepal, and he did his graduation from West Bengal in optometry. Then he did his master's in optometry from ITM Institute of Health Sciences. He also hails masters in social work from Madurai Kamraj University, along with a postgraduate diploma in hospital management from the same prestigious institution. He was a former optometrist at CL Gupta Eye Institute as well as Sanganetralaya Eye Hospital. And currently, he is a consultant optometrist and manages his own practice at SJ Vision Foundation. Welcome, Jayant.
Thank you.
Then we have Sulfi. Sulfikar is currently working in Zeiss Aloka, and he holds the position of operations manager. He started his career as an optometrist in Aloka Vision program, which is supported by Zeiss. He completed his Bachelor of Optometry from Malabar College and MBA from Narsi Monji Institute of Management Science, Bangalore. He got promoted as an operations manager in 2019. Their team has screened almost all places in rural India as well as Nepal. They provide vision correction and cataract surgeries for patients and focus on school children screening. Welcome, Sulfi.
Thank you.
So over to Lakshmi ma'am for the session.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. So welcome and good afternoon to everybody who's joining us on Facebook. And I hope everybody is, families are safe and healthy, and you're also getting yourselves vaccinated, hopefully. So I think that is very, very important in today's day and age. So we have a very different, panel members today. One who's in Karnataka, one person from Bihar, and the other person who's working for a corporate, but on the CSR aspect of it. A very varied panel, and it's great to first of all, thanks to all of you for accepting our invitation and joining us to share your experiences as well. So Chetan, maybe because Bangalore's close to you, I'll start with you, and then after that, go on to the others as well. I just wanted to ask. So you did your diploma, if I'm correct, and then after that, you went on to do your degree and then your masters as well, right? And you come from your practice is in a place where even a small practice would definitely help people, right? So what was your inspiration to study further in given the nature of your practice in Madikere? What was the inspiration?
Okay. First, good afternoon, ma'am. Thanks for the privilege for having me here. Inspiration, like I always loved this profession. Like I started my profession on February 14, 2000, Valentine's Day. Probably my first love is optometry. And like William Shakespeare once said, eyes are the windows of the soul. So I'm quite proud that I belong to a profession wherein we take care of those windows. And upgradation is always nice. I always want it, irrespective of where we are, upgradation is always good. I was kind of blessed with the opportunity because my wife also is an optometrist, and I had her support. She, in my absence, she was here to look after the business and the outcome. So I was probably blessed with that opportunity to upgrade. I belong to opticians family. It was my father who inspired me to get into this profession. Even now, given an opportunity, I would like to upgrade in whatever ways possible.
Okay. So basically, you had somebody to take care of your clinic in your absence, and then gave you an opportunity to upgrade. So when is your wife upgrading her career?
She also kinds of she upgrades with the interactions with me. Just that she doesn't have the.
That's a good one.
but we kind of interact well, and she's as much updated as me.
Good. I actually wanted to ask you further questions about the landscape in your practice. So we'll come back to that a little bit later. Okay. Moving on to Jayant from Bihar. So Jayant, you've done your undergraduation from WBUT, and then after that you've kind of moved on to social work, and then also even management. PG diploma in management. Social work and management, two different ends of the spectrum when you look at it, in terms of remuneration. Social work, everybody says, oh, there's no money in it. And then when you look at management, they say, oh, there's a lot of money in it. So having done all of that, and then, having to get into a service delivery in Bihar. So what was your thought process when you did all of this?
Actually, I was totally into the institutional practice, where we have a little bit of clinical practice, we have little bit of educational activity. So everything was we have, and it was in my mindset that someday I will do something, little things, and we will collect. And these things always inspires me. In the institute, when we were in the institute in 2014, something has happened which inspired me to go to the management area, hospital management area. I was in hospital, it was an institute, and something has happened which inspired me. Okay. And that was, what was that something? That was the, yes, that was miscommunication, mismanagement of small things, not the bigger things, small things. So to correct that, I was capable enough, but at some small incident of time, I was capable, but I was not having any management degree. So if I am correcting something and I do not have degree, so it is not good. Then I studied this postgraduate diploma. I had option to go for MBA healthcare management, but that was too lengthy. But the same thing, I am in practice and I had a degree. That was only a motto that I will do a degree in postgraduate diploma in hospital management. And at the same time, when I completed this degree, that institute suggested me to go to the, I asked the institute to, I need to upgrade my degree in some other field. So they suggested that go with the social work. Then I went to social work. The social work was only suggested by the institute. So it was also nice. Learning social work was nice. And that again inspired me to come back to the native places. And right now also I am not exactly at my native place, but I am very close to my native place and I am exploring my work. And there was a need of optometrist in this city, especially the specialty which we do. There was no one to do it. And like Chetan sir, we are also two in same family. So my wife is also an optometrist, and so she always inspired, she took the initiative, and whatever we are doing on name of SJ Vision Foundation. So that SJ Vision Foundation is women-led organization. She is leading the organization and I am doing the work.
Oh, very good. तो मतलब आप आई के अलावा भी वो एसजे फाउंडेशन के मुताबिक आप कुछ और भी सोशल वर्क का काम करते हैं, for women empowerment?
No, not for women empowerment. It is not like that totally into women empowerment. It is totally towards the empowerment of optometry. हम लोग ऑप्टोमेट्री के ऊपर ही वर्क करते हैं, बट हमारा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का लीडर एक वुमेन है, एंड वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट तो है ही. हमारे जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स थे उसमें 50% स्टूडेंट्स वुमेन रहते थे, फीमेल स्टूडेंट्स. सो वो लोग एक समय के बाद क्या होता है कि कैरियर को फोकस नहीं करते हैं, फैमिली मैन हो जाते हैं, वो लोग फैमिली को फोकस करते हैं. तो उन लोगों को अपग्रेड करने के लिए, अपलिफ्ट करने के लिए भी हम लोग को आना, इसलिए हम लोग इस चीज को शुरू किया.
That reminds me, Jayant, Dr. Rao, when I was at LVP, he always used to tease couple of us, Dr. Padmaja, who's now with Brian at BHVI, myself, there was one more optometrist, Rukmani, and of course, Dr. Vijay Kumari. All of us, he used to tell, see, all your graphs will go up like this until you get married. And then after that, he just dropped down. That's what he used to tell. Okay. He used to keep teasing us. And now we all tell him, so it's not gone down after marriage. So don't worry. So this is something that he always used to say when it comes to the female, this thing, the graph keeps going up, and then after marriage, it just drops down. So I think it's nice that you're supporting female optometrists through that organization. And I think it's very much needed, especially in a state like Bihar. Not only female, even male optometrists. Optometry itself is very rare, I think, within your state. So great job, Jayant.
Thank you, ma'am.
So now to you, Sulfikar. Yours is a very unique position, in terms of working for a corporate, but not, having targets and marketing targets and, selling of lenses, but in the CSR wing, contributing towards screening and all of that. So you've done your graduation from Malabar College in Kerala, and then after that you went on to do management, diploma in marketing and sales and marketing, I think, right? If I'm right, Sulfikar?
Yes.
Yeah. So especially when you have such a background, you will assume that when you join a corporate, oh, this person is going to be in charge of marketing of some product or sales, or he'll have targets. So what made you join Aloka and contribute towards the screening aspect, eye care screening aspects?
Yeah. First of all, thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity. So I have joined almost 4 years back. So even that time, most of my friends also, they know only about hospitals or opticals, after the internship. So even I was thinking about joining one hospital or in any opticals after my internship. So by the time my senior referred to me Aloka, and that time I was not aware about any corporate culture or corporate field. I was not aware. So once I entered to the corporate sector, I was known more about how this corporate is working. It's different from the entire hospital setup. So once I entered there, then I got to know this is the setup. Then I was planning to go for more studies. Then I joined business management.
Okay, so you did your PG diploma after you joined Aloka, and as you were doing,
after joined Aloka.
Okay, so does that give you an extra, what to say, knowledge or a different perspective when you look at your screening programs? Does it give you a different outlook?
That is because like in corporate and hospital, like the field what is opening for us is entirely different. Hospital, like we have a very limited opportunities like to promote or to be in future also. It's a very limited opportunities. Coming to the corporate, it's a like open field. Like we can go to everywhere wherever we want. So we need more degrees there to focus more in the field. So
okay, so you're saying if you have to grow up the ladder within the corporate, you need to do some kind of management.
Some kind of management course.
Okay, but does the course, what have you learned from that management course that you can apply in your present day? You think there is any connection?
In our work, we can implement like whatever we are doing. We are kind of all the things. We are kind of screening the people. We have inventories. We have ordering process. So we have like we are not working as a like hospital, like only taking care of screening or other. We are taking care of everything. So we need a management power to control everything in this corporate field.
So if you are a project head, you feel that these kind of extra degrees help if you want to become a project head, and overall management of the entire project is very important.
Yeah, actually I'm taking care of operations, and we have Dr. Premjit sir. Actually he is taking care of Aloka. So in the screening part, actually, yes, we don't have much useful with the management part. Like there we need only optometry part. Like after the screening, like the management part will be useful for us in our field.
Okay. Thank you, Sulfika. Chetan, the Madikere climate, for all the viewers, I would just like to say that it is part of the Western Ghats, which means that, you will have continuous rain for at least 2 to 3 months, non-stop rain. So this is something that the viewers need to know. So, what, I mean, how do you, what to say, how is it different from a city practice, Chetan, in those kind of times when it's really, torrential rain and all of that? Do you have to close your practice? How do you prepare your practice for those kind of, situations? And how do you help the people who need eye care during that time?
Okay, I'll just tell a brief thing about Coorg. The population of Madikeri is 33,000. That's about any area of Bangalore, or much lesser than any areas of Bangalore. Like you said, it's a small hilly region, basically into coffee plantation. And the major source of income is again coffee and tourism. The total population of the district as such is about 5.5 lakhs. So about 86 to 90% of the population is in the rural sector. Most of them coffee laborers or either coffee planters. The remaining 14-15% are in the cities. Like you said, it rains quite a lot. So when it rains quite a lot, people are prepared. It becomes part of their lives. So the routine just happens. Routine just goes on. Just that we wear more warm clothes. We need heaters, and there'll be lots of power cuts. So we'll have to be prepared for that. And people do come even in monsoons. Of course, the intensity of business slightly drops, but maybe because of the dull weather or so, people require more of reading glasses. They come for reading correction more in monsoons. That's what I've seen.
Okay.
Preparation in the sense, like from the past 3-4 years, we have seen rains which I have not witnessed earlier to 2017-18. So it's like flash floods, wherein lots of properties are lost. Lots of people lost homes, estates, and people literally had to live in shelter homes. In fact, we had to close our business for close to a month during those days, because when the community was suffering, there was no point us doing business. We tried to be involved in the community in whatever ways we plan.
That's so important what you said. When the community is suffering, there's no point in you earning money. That's very, very, very noble, Chetan.
Yeah.
And I know that you and one more person were very instrumental during the floods a few years back.
Yeah,
that happened in Coorg. So can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, it was on August 16th, 2018. It was raining quite heavily, and WhatsApp was flooded with messages that so many landslides had happened everywhere. There were many flash floods, and so many people were shelterless. So that's the time me and my cousin decided we'll open a shelter home. So we had a community hall of which my cousin was the president. So it was an instant decision. We just opened. We didn't have any clue how do we accommodate people, from where do we get the beds, how do we arrange hot water, food. We just took the decision. We called the deputy commissioner. They said, go ahead, we'll support from the district administration. We circulated in a few WhatsApp groups. In 20 minutes, there were about 30 people waiting outside the community hall, volunteers from different organizations. And it just happened, ma'am. I don't know how it happened. We gave shelter to about 120 people for 1.5 months. First 2 days, me and my cousin were chopping vegetables. I had not prepared tea all through my life at home. We were chopping vegetables in the kitchen over there.
I hope your wife is also listening to this.
She was helping me there. And we had a hostel cook to prepare the food. We brought in some rice bags, and this was for 1 or 2 days. And from then on, I don't know, it was on autopilot mode. It just happened. There was a marriage fixed among those people. The marriage also happened in the same building, in the same community hall. The superintendent of police, deputy commissioner, MLA, everybody came there. Probably the marriage happened more grandly than what they would have arranged. So,
that's so nice.
Optometry, this helped me. Like when we were studying low vision, we were taught about Elizabeth Kubler-Ross theory. That theory came into mind because these were the times, these were the tough times. The process of shock, denial, anger, anxiety, depression. So my job was to see, like, that was in my mind. People should never go to those stages. So what we did was, in the evenings, we started screening movies. Whoever children were there, we started celebrating birthdays. So in this way, optometry also had a role in
serving.
Care of them. Yeah, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross there, which we had learned in low vision management, helped here. So this was about what happened during those calamity times.
So I'm sure through all of this, you would have learned a lot, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Through all whatever happened, as you said, it was on autopilot mode.
Yes.
Did the government help with any funding, or it was all voluntary work?
Government supplied the essentials, and we were in a situation where we got more essentials than required. People responded so much, seeing the news channels and other things. So there were lorries waiting outside with all the food grains and other things. One surprising thing happened. A few people came in a mini lorry with all the essentials, and they said, it's our turn, we'll take care of the things. They cooked, they did everything, and I was like surprised the kind of food they prepared. They came all the way from Bangalore. Then I said, I thought there were supposed to be some caterers. So I said, can I have your card so that in future, if there are any functions, family functions, we'll call you for catering. They said, no, sir, we are from Tempo Tempo organization people. We're all lorry drivers.
Wow.
That was the kind of response people showed towards food then. We're very grateful for that.
Yeah, I think it's really some eye opener to young optometrists who are listening. I think Chetan, the entire experience that you've shared with us. Thank you, Jayant. Moving on to you, can you tell me more about the layout of your the place where you're practicing? Is it very, very rural, or it's semi-rural in terms of air power, sewage, water, and all of that? And how important do people think eye care is? मतलब अगर उनको हॉस्पिटल जाना है तो कितना दूर जाना पड़ेगा, और ऐसे लोगों को आंख के बारे में मतलब आंख इम्पोर्टेंट है उनके लिए या हमको जाके बताना पड़ता है?
आंख इम्पोर्टेंट है यहाँ के लोगों के लिए, बट आंख कहाँ दिखाना है, किसको दिखाना है, इस सब बारे में बहुत ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस लोग नहीं देते हैं। बहुत सारा जो अनुभव किया है हमने, यहाँ 3 वर्षों से यहाँ पे हैं, जो अनुभव किया है, बहुत सारे लोग डायरेक्ट चश्मा दुकान में जाते हैं, चश्मा दुकान में दिखा के सिर्फ चश्मा चेक करा लेना ही आंख चेक कराना होता है, ऐसा समझते हैं, बट दैट इज नॉट राइट। एंड इफ ऑप्टोमेट्रिस्ट के पास भी अगर वो लोग आते हैं तो सिर्फ चश्मा चेक करा के चले जाएंगे करके ये सोच ले करके ही आते हैं। हाँ, अगर ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजिस्ट के पास जा रहे हैं तो वहां पे जैसा चेकअप कहेंगे वैसा वो लोग कराएंगे, ये सोच है। सो देयर इज अ बिग डिफरेंस इन द थिंकिंग पैटर्न। यस, दे डोंट नो अबाउट द प्रोफेशन। लेकिन हाँ, 3 वर्षों में लगभग मैंने बहुत पेशेंट तो नहीं देखा है, जबकि ये शहर का जो पॉपुलेशन है वो काफी ज्यादा है, हाईली पॉपुलेटेड एरिया है, और बिहार में 4th रैंकिंग में आता है। हेल्थ केयर डिलीवरी सर्विस में 2nd रैंकिंग पे आता है ये शहर। बिहार के पटना के बाद अगर हेल्थ केयर डिलीवरी सबसे बेहतर कहीं पे आता है तो वो मुजफ्फरपुर है, एंड हाईली पॉपुलेटेड एरिया है। तो सब कुछ ठीक है, बट पीपल आर नॉट अवेयर अबाउट कि सर्विस कहाँ से कौन सा सर्विस ले। एंड ऑप्टोमेट्री सर्विस को अगर देखें तो ऑप्टोमेट्रिस्ट भी बहुत कम है जो ऑप्टोमेट्री सर्विस दे रहे हैं। बहुत सारे लोग, उसका रीजन है कि दे हैव टू स्ट्रगल बहुत ज्यादा है, बिकॉज अपने आप को प्रेजेंट करना है, अपने आप को बताना है। एंड पेशेंट तो कभी भी आते हैं तो पेशेंट नोज ओनली वन थिंग, दैट इज डॉक्टर। पेशेंट के लिए तो डॉक्टर हो, बट आप अगर बोर्ड पे लिख नहीं रहे हो तो सिर्फ जयंत झा के नाम से कितने पेशेंट आएंगे। सो उसका भी रीजन है, बहुत सारा रीजन है ये सारा। तो फिर भी लोग आते हैं। इफ जयंत झा लिखा है और कंसल्टेंट ऑप्टोमेट्रिस्ट लिखा है तो ऑप्टोमेट्री समझ करके, ऑप्टोमेट्री को सर्च करके लोग आते हैं। बहुत तो नहीं, 3 साल में लगभग 1500 पेशेंट हम लोगों ने देखा है। एंड आउट ऑफ दैट 1500 पेशेंट, हमारा 1000 पेशेंट जो है वो रेफरल फ्रॉम ऑप्थेल्मोलॉजिस्ट, रेफरल फ्रॉम ऑप्टोमेट्रिस्ट, optometrist to optometrist referral, ophthalmologist to optometrist referral, optician to optometrist referral, ये referral। and बाकी जो 500 है that is patient to patient referral, कि आप उनको दिखाइए। means 100% जो patient है that is referral patient, walk-in patient एक भी नहीं, 0 walk-ins। तो ये चीज हम लोगों ने किया है यहाँ पे। एंड उसमें हम लोग एक प्रोग्राम किए थे, एक्सपीरियंस विजन का जो प्रोग्राम था। तो शुरू में ही हमने अपने आप को अंडर एस्टिमेट करके, या फिर मार्केट के बारे में पता नहीं था तो अंडर एस्टिमेट करके सिर्फ 10 यूनिट्स हम अपने लिए रखे थे। तो वो 10 यूनिट्स का जो प्रोग्राम था, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में जो एक्सपीरियंस विजन का अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम था, वो अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम भी काफी यूजफुल हुआ। एंड वहां से पेरेंट, टीचर, स्टूडेंट्स, ये सभी लोग भी तुरंत तो नहीं लेकिन साल भर बाद, 6 महीने बाद एक एक करके ढूंढते हुए आना शुरू कर। तो काफी रेफरल्स उससे भी बढ़े।
You have to plant the seed of awareness. I think that is the main thing for you. So what do you think will increase the walk-ins, Jayan, in terms of awareness of, that they have to get an eye checkup once a year and things like that? So do you do any programs along with your wife with the SJ Foundation?
Yes, हम लोग फिजिशियंस को ये करते हैं, विजिट करते हैं, पीडियाट्रिशियंस को विजिट करते हैं, एंड इंटरनल रेफरल को बढ़ावा देने के लिए वर्क करते हैं, एंड स्पेशली टू द ऑप्टोमेट्रिस्ट। कॉमन मैन को मतलब कॉमन मैन तक, क्योंकि पिछले लगभग 16 महीना से जो समस्या चल रहा है कोविड को लेकर के, तो हम लोग कॉमन मैन के रीच में नहीं पहुंच पा रहे हैं। एंड
उससे पहले
उससे पहले तक कॉमन मैन तक डायरेक्ट तो नहीं पहुंच पाते थे, तो भी कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा करते थे, जैसे कि किसी गांव का मुखिया है, किसी गांव का सरपंच है, तो उन लोगों से बात करके एक स्क्रीनिंग कैंप, अवेयरनेस स्क्रीनिंग कैंप में भी स्पेशली अवेयरनेस स्क्रीनिंग कैंप।
करेक्ट, या आई थिंक दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट।
हाँ, तो इस तरीके से, एंड दैट इज टोटली फॉर एन ऑप्टोमेट्रिस्ट, क्योंकि बहुत सारे चीज है कि हायर लेवल से ही ये सारा चीज क्लियर नहीं है। कुछ दिन पहले की बात है, एक ऑप्टोमेट्री कॉलेज के ऑनर से बात हुई एंड दे वर टेलिंग ऑप्टोमेट्रिशियन, सो यहाँ नाम में प्रॉब्लम है। तो एंड दे आर रनिंग ऑप्टोमेट्री कॉलेज एंड दे आर टेलिंग ऑप्टोमेट्रिशियन, सो उनको भी एडुकेट करने की जरूरत है, अवेयर करने की जरूरत है। तो इन सब चीजों पे भी वर्क कर रहे हैं।
करेक्ट, ओके। Sulfikar, you basically, can you give us an explanation or a small summary of how you work? Like you have partners, how do you go about screening in the different parts of the country, and do you travel to these locations and things like that?
So we have a program called Aloga Vision Program. It started 2015. So it's supported by Zeiss actually. So our main motive was to give to improve accessibility in the vision care service and give awareness and give affordable spectacle, like affordable price for the spectacles. Like, so we basically give very less, we'll charge very less amount for this, for the spectacles, and we are giving some free glasses as well for the special category of patients as well. So how we are working is like we almost done almost 1,000+ camps till now. So we have different partners in across India. So what they will do is they will mobilize the patients and they will set up all the camp requirements and they will arrange all the things. So we will just go there and we'll do the camp and we'll screen the patients, and after we are receiving the orders, we'll deliver the spectacle within the 7 days. So that's how we are working.
Okay, and what do you do about referrals in those cases, Sulfikar? Let's say a cataract or conjunctivitis or something like that. What do you do?
So some of the cases, cataract cases, we will support for the cataract surgeries. In other cases, we'll refer to the nearest hospital, like which the partners will find in the time of camp itself, like where we can send the patients. Not only for the cataract, like other cases also will refer to the nearest hospital. So that's how we are working. Like.
So the referrals, basically the partner, whoever's partnering with you, they take care of the referral pathway.
Yeah. So, and also we have partner like hospital also, like we have partnership, like hospital
that's
model.
What
also
I wanted to ask, whether you partner with hospitals.
Yeah. So we don't have accessibility in like all the areas. Like some of the areas, like we can send to our hospital as like our partnership hospital as well. But the other areas will send to the other hospital, like where they can go and get that done. So the partners will help them to, like they will do all the transport things for the patients.
So Sulfikar, you must have traveled, so many parts of India, remote locations and everything. Just for the benefit of young optometrists, how do you adjust to, let's say, accommodation or traveling there? And what does it teach you over a period of time? What does it teach you? What are the lessons you've learned from all of that?
Like the Aloga given me like very different experience. Like I don't think like other optometrists, like my friends will not get this kind of opportunities. Like travel to different places, to taste variety of food, taste like meet different type of people, different languages, different geographical places. So the best experience is like last month we were in Nepal. Like, so we trekked around 8 hours to the villages in the mountains and we did the screening there. So that people's like usually they will not come out to the villages and they will not go for any other things. So they will mainly focusing on their places and they will cultivate whatever they needed and they will settle there. So once we went there only, like they got to know like there is some like the spectacle is there, like we can use spectacle to get the good vision or something. So they were not aware about these kind of things, like so they can do the refraction, or they can treat their eyes. So that kind of awareness is very less in that area. So we tracked there and we did the refraction, and we have done the cataract as well there. So we have supported, we have support from Nepal as well. So Nepal, we have support from the two optometrists from Nepal also.
Takes care of the cataract in those instances.
Yeah, so there what they did is in Nepal, they have 2 doctors and 3 optometrists. So they arranged the operation theater there. They went 3-4 days prior to there, and they arranged a small operation setup, and they did the operation there. So taking the patient to the hospital, it's very difficult from that area. So we set up there.
You do it on the site itself.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm sure you have a lot of other experiences in Northeast region also, right? Because I know that Aloka works quite a bit in the Northeast region of India as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Like Mizoram and all those kind of areas.
Yeah. So we have done mostly to northern areas, because we have most partners in northern areas. So that compared to south, we need more attention to the northern areas as well, the rural places. So yeah. So we mainly focusing on there, and so the experience are everywhere it is different. Most of them are emotional experience, kind of so once they lost their vision, and we went there to their places, and we have done after we are done the refraction in the trials, set itself, they after the trial, putting the lenses in the trial frame, after that itself, the happiness what we are getting from the patient is different. So that's what, ma'am, the corporate field, what is different from the service is kind of at the end of the day, we are getting some kind of happiness. I'm thinking it's very difficult to get in the other field in the corporate. So that's how we are different in the corporate sector as well.
Yeah. You're saying that the happiness that people show just when they wear the trial frame with the correction is so much. I guess half of them wouldn't even know that they have a refractive error.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Correct.
Most of them think the presbyopia is the given by the God. So they need to follow till they're that, and they have seriously, ma'am, they thought their near vision is gone. They can't do anything. Okay. So once we are giving the reading glasses, so they're kind of happy.
So they think that is a punishment of God, and that's how it should be. So most of them, that's what they think.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that is something that I'm hearing. That they think that it's
punishment. In the deep rural areas, it's the people are thinking like that.
Okay. So back to you, Chetan. One more question is.
Sorry, there was some network error.
Yeah, that's okay, Chetan. Would you do anything different if you think back in your life? Let's say you had an opportunity now that you've done your masters and all that. Would you want to, let's say, shift to a more affluent city? Or if somebody says, you have an opportunity outside India and things like that. So thinking back, would you do the same thing again? Or you think maybe I would have done something different?
I'm not sure, ma'am. Initially, there were opportunities for me to, there were 2 thoughts: to settle down in Bangalore or come back to hometown. I chose my hometown over Bangalore. I'm quite happy with that. And there are a few friends, since I've started practicing vision therapy, there are a few friends who are settled down west, well settled. They sometimes call me, why don't you come here and join me and introduce vision therapy here? What kind of job you're doing in such a small town with a vision therapy setup and all? Somehow I'm happy here. I don't think I would have left this place. This place is good. The people are good. I'm quite attached to this place.
That's in Tamil they will say man vasane. That is the smell of the soil.
Yeah,
I think that's keeping you grounded.
Correct.
Very, very, very happy to hear that.
Yeah, recently one girl, she was engaged. She came with alternate exotropia, She was referred by an ophthalmologist. She came to me telling that my would-be husband wants my eyes straight before marriage. That was a condition. So I didn't assure her anything. I said, let's give a try. She was quite dedicated. I spent quite a lot of time. She ended up with the straight eyes. She ended up orthopedic by the time of her marriage. These are some things which gives kick in optometry practice. And another girl, she.
You must have asked her if she still wants to marry him or not.
Another 15-year girl, always with wounds in her hand, and she used to always miss the throw ball while playing. She had passion about playing throw ball. The problem was she had, of course, she came for exotropic correction. After a few months of vision therapy, she went on to captain her school side in throw ball. These are some of the changes apart from getting binocular vision. These are some of the changes we make to the community, which gives immense happiness in our practices.
That's great.
Doing that in my hometown doubles up the pleasure. I don't think if I had done the same thing somewhere else, I would have got the same pleasure or not.
That's really good.
I don't know, whatever the opportunity comes, I would still stick to my roots. Yeah.
Jayant, what about you? Because you have a management, degree and stuff like that. Do you think that maybe you'll get to the corporate side or maybe work for some NGO because you have social service and your management degree, and that is going to help you or something like that? Any plans to kind of retract your path from what you're doing now?
Yes, we will be moving with SJ Vision Foundation only, and we are very close to our hometown. So now we will be settling with this, and definitely SJ Vision Foundation will grow on through my management area and social work area. As an optometrist, we all are social workers. We don't have to do any social work degree, but that was just a suggestion from college. I did it.
And so nice of you. Yeah.
Yes. So what we are doing here, we are basically exploring 3 direct service of optometry, that is low vision care, vision therapy, and contact lenses. And that is 2 specialty contact lenses and all. We are here in Muzaffarpur. And other than this, I have my passion, that is practice management. So as a practice management consultant, I used to train optometrists. Basically, I used to search fresh graduates. So in these 3 years, I got to I was lucky enough to get one fresh graduate optometrist, and she did fellowship with us, and she completed her fellowship by dedicating her time and all. And one of my classmate, when we were in optometry, she also joined us and continued that same pattern of fellowship. And now now both have completed, and they are at different places.
They are in different places within Bihar?
Not in Bihar. One is in Nepal and one is in Dhanbad. That is in Jharkhand.
Oh,
so both got married.
Okay.
And shifted to different place. But the total intention and the principle of SJ Vision Foundation, they carried that principle of SJ Vision Foundation, and they are moving on, and they are planning to operate their own setup.
Okay.
And I will be helping them, and in future, those who will come to us, I will be helping them, and we will be in Bihar only.
Basically, you give priority to people who come from, who want to set up in rural areas. Go back and set up a practice in the rural area. That's really nice. I think
that is optometry practice.
Yeah.
And optometry practice means core optometry practice. I'm again focusing on this.
Yeah, that's not
clinical
just
optometry.
much
Not focusing direct optical, not focusing
Correct.
big hospital. Core clinical optometry practice.
Wonderful.
And along with primary eye care. And other than this, what I used to do personally, that every Sunday I used to take my vehicle and I used to go on drive and towards the village area and all. And I used to meet people, local people, people from villages, and I used to talk and aware about optometry services. I have a mobile setup within my vehicle.
Wow.
And
okay.
I used to carry that. And whosoever asked me, sir, I am having this problem, then and there, I assess the area, places and all, make the setup just similar to our clinical setup. Every time, all the time, I used to have 1 inchy tape. That is complete setup. I used to make a setup and then I used to collect 4 or 5 people and give my clinical service to them.
Okay. And
so
this
that is
free of charge.
Yes, that is a drive a day program.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is on Sundays.
This is on Sundays.
When do you take a break, Jan?
It's only at night time. I used to take break.
Your wife
because,
does complain?
She has complained that.
But it's good to have the same profession as person as your wife, right? So yes. She understands.
So she understands, and we, as she know that we are struggling and we have to struggle much. We have to do something. And other than this, I am associated with a upcoming medical college in Bihar, in Muzaffarpur. That is upcoming medical college. I'm not telling it's a complete medical college. So there is also their own kind of a struggle in starting up a medical college, working with a team of medical college. So
it'll be good if they start a course in optometry there, because Bihar doesn't have a good college.
Yes, it doesn't have good college, and everywhere there is no vacancy also. So I have shared so many documents in previous days from Bihar. So whatever vacancy used to come for an ophthalmic assistant only, and ophthalms are also not clear about who is an optometrist and what are their work, what is their speciality and all. So I'm working on that area also. So overall, I am working for an optometry over here in Bihar.
Thank you. Thank you, Jain. So, Sulfikar, having worked in a different part of a corporate sector for long. So let's say tomorrow you get an offer from some industry to be into sales and marketing or something. So is that something, your colleagues, for example, might say, "Arey, what are you doing? There's so much progress in sales and marketing. You can, grow up the ladder faster." So do you feel, that you're disadvantaged compared to those people in some way, or you feel that no, maybe I would stick to this line? Can you hear me, Sulfikar?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So first of all, like I think I am the youngest person here. Like I have only 4 years of experience, and I started in Aloga Vision program. And as I told earlier, like I am happy with like end of the day, I am happy with what I am doing now.
Okay.
I was not thinking about the future, like
You're not given.
So I'm happy with what I am currently. Yeah.
What about like your friends from college? Let's say some of them have joined corporates or something like that. Do they kind of, when you all friends meet and chat, do you think that side is better than what you're doing or something like that? Do you all any time think about it?
Yeah, and my friends who are working in the corporates are very less. I think only 2 or 3.
Okay.
Most of them are in hospital or like optical. So
Okay.
even they're also doing, whomever joined in the corporate, they are looking for the more opportunities, like more studies. So even they are also like looking for the more opportunities. Like,
Okay.
so we are like a young group of optometrists now. Like we just looking for more future.
That's very nice. Paula, any comments or questions on Facebook or not really?
Comments as in no specific comments, but yes, everybody is congratulating all of them for the wonderful work they are doing.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a different, what to say, a different flavor. We have somebody who's from a mountain and monsoon terrain like Chetan, and then we have somebody like Jayant, where optometry is not even known. Not that it's known in other parts of the country, but Bihar, I think it's one of the backward states, even otherwise in all other aspects as well. And from coming from a state like that, and trying to explain optometry as a profession and giving your service. Jayant, if somebody in my house used to work 7 days a week, I don't think I'll keep quiet, on the lighter side. So it's so, what to say, inspiring to see that all of you are doing such different jobs as far as the profession is concerned, and contributing in your own way, small way, somehow or the other. Jayant trying to train some of the fellow optometrists to become entrepreneurs within his state or in some other rural area, so that they start core optometry. I mean, I really like the way he said, it is not optical, it is core optometry, it is clinical optometry practice. I like the way that he takes pride in saying that, and I think that's very important, because we play an important role when it comes to early diagnosis of many conditions, be it cataract, be it diabetic retinopathy, be it glaucoma, or anything like that. I think the clinical area is our strength as far as optometrists are concerned. And I think that is something which we really need to be very proud of in terms of the primary eye care services we deliver, and early diagnosis, timely referral, and things like that. So I'm so proud, at the end of the day, to see how different all of you are contributing to such a noble cause at the end of the day. Of course, there is monetary benefit. All of us have to survive. We have to earn our bread and live. So there is monetary benefit. But at the end of the day, I think, what Zulfikar said makes so much of a point. Like he says, somebody who just wears the trial frame and then you see a smile on the face the moment they wear it, that brings happiness, right, to all of us. So it's really nice. I'm very proud, and thanks to all of you for sharing your thoughts. We still have around 5 to 7 minutes left. I think we kind of finished slightly early. So any closing comments from all of you? That I would like you to say something to the younger optometrists. I know Zulfikar says that he's the youngest and he's only having 4 years of experience. But what would you like to say to just fresh graduating optometrists? Chetan, you want to start?
Yeah, I'd just like to tell, be aware of the continuous developments, be part of all the programs that's happening around us. Whatever opportunity we get, try to upgrade, and love your profession and work within your boundaries.
And Jayant?
Yes, it's a 360-degree work. You have to work for it. And for the younger generation, you are the younger generation, and you all are innovators. And younger generation are always innovators. I always believe in my younger generation. So do innovating and keep motivating us, because whatever today I am at, whatever place I am, that is due to my younger generation in optometry, and for them only. So do innovating, keep growing, and if you need me, you can call me anytime.
That's so nice. Zulfikar, anything that you would like to say maybe some sentences in Malayalam. I'm sure all the Malabar students and Al Salama students will really love you. കുറച്ച് ഒന്ന് രണ്ട് സെന്റൻസ് മലയാളത്തില് പറഞ്ഞേക്കാം.
അതെ അതെ അത് പറയാം. അപ്പോ ഞാൻ ഫുൾ അതിൽ പറയണോ അതോ പകുതി കുറച്ച് പറഞ്ഞ പോരെ? അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മലയാളം
എന്തെങ്കിലും
എനിക്ക് പറയാനുള്ള പുതിയ ജനറേഷന് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് ലിമിറ്റഡ് ആണെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്ന കുറെ പേരുണ്ട്, ലൈക്ക് ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽസ് ഓർ ഓപ്റ്റിക്കൽ. സോ ദ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് ആർ നോട്ട് ലിമിറ്റഡ്. ലൈക്ക് വി ഹാവ് ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ്, വി ഹാവ് ടു ഫൈൻഡ് ഇറ്റ്. സോ ദാറ്റ്സ് ഓൾ we need to do. So most of them are mainly focusing on these two fields, but we have more, like lot of other opportunities as well. So we need to focus on that as well and made your careers better.
Oh, I think that's really nice what you're saying. So people think that only working in hospitals or working only in corporate sector or working only in practices, that's the only opportunity. So basically you're saying you have to just look and there will be more than those opportunities available to you. And I think that's a very, very strong message, Sulfikar. There are people like Lata Balaji and one more person like Madhavi. They're all sending really good wishes to all of you and congratulating you on all the good work that you're doing. One more person is Santosh. And everybody is saying, please carry on the good work that all of you are doing. So thanks a ton. To all of you, and thanks for your time. I know it's difficult in these times to take time off and talk to us. So thanks a ton. And for all your inputs, I hope many of the young generation people get inspired by the work that you do. Why would I say young? Even people of my age, I think, should get inspired by whatever you people do. So thanks to all of you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Stay safe, get vaccinated, wear your masks, and stay healthy. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Paula.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Paula.